Hi, I am Centimus Prime, and here I will be reviewing the Battle Tracto Max from the modelroid full powered Gridman model kit. So starting off, we will be taking a look at Battle Tracto Max himself. And you can see these are very nice looking. From the sounds of the name, I'm gonna assume he's some sort of tractor tank of some sort. Now you can see that the parts have been sculpted pretty nicely. You do see some nice slight vents and panel lining details. You do see really nice details up here with these turret gun things. Very nice. Here's how it looks from underneath. All nice and detailed. Get little vents back here. Very neat. You get these hexagon shaped holes. You do get these little tires. Very nice. You do get like nice little details throughout the thing. Very nice. It's very nice. Up here you do get a little bit of an asymmetrical detailings going on this side you get some headlight detailings, and on this side you get what appears to be a cab section with the teeniest little radar dish on top of that, like the tiniest little satellite dish on top of that. It is easily the tiniest piece in this entire model kit. Now, as far as part separation goes, it does do some basic things. The tires have been attached or separately attached, are separate colored parts, and you do get the fists. What appear to be big fists on the front, which are nicely done. And you do get some neat little part separation things here and there. But it is a lot of like large gray chunks, which is nice. It is like it does make the building process a little more simple, even though I've managed to get it wrong with these lavender joints in here by not rotating them 180. That was a mistake on my part. However, I will say that color scheme wise, this part of the model kit does really rely on the stickers to give it most of its color scheme, because without the stickers, it's going to mostly be gray. Now, in total, this part of the model kit contains 17 stickers. Yeah, 17. And some of them you aren't able to see until you combine him with Gridman. Like this detail here, these headlight details and this cab windshield, those are stickers. These red sections with the white trim up here, those are stickers. if you look over on this side, you can see these little gray strips into these detailed sections. Those are stickers. And if you look at this thing here, which will become a helmet later on, it does contain 3 stickers. 2 for these yellow details on the side, and 1 for this gem in the middle, which likes to get cockeyed a little bit. There we go. It is nicely done, even with this sticker job. Now, despite each tire being attached on separately, it does not. You have to so attaching these is basically like attaching these round little ring pieces on top of these gray pegs, which results in a vehicle that doesn't roll. It does not roll. It slides. Especially on some surfaces, it does slide. Okay. But no, it doesn't. The wheels don't roll. I'm sure someone can modify it so that these parts can roll if modified correctly, if modified in a certain way. But where this little brick lacks in rolling wheels, it makes up for in turret articulation, because each one of these turrets up here, each one of these cannons up here, each has a 360 rotation, and these. I'm gonna just take that off. I'm sure it does come apart a little bit, but easy enough to fix. But anyways, each of these turns spins 360, swivels 360, and these silver parts of the cannons can rotate, can hinge up and down, about that far. There's some of that 360 in action. So you do have a good bit of posability with the cannons, so that's nice. And here we get more detail. We do get we can get some better look at some of the smoother surfaces. Very nice. Here's how the insides of those cannons look. It's a simple thing that does look very, very nice. Very neat. Now, as for size comparison, it's like length and width wise, he does appear to be similar. He does appear to be a similar size to Earthrise Cliffjumper here. We're counting this helmet back here. He's about as long as Cliffjumper here. However, he is a little bit wider than Cliffjumper. He's about these tire length. Each of these tire lengths on each side wider than Cliffjumper here. height-wise, he's technically taller than Clifftrooper due to the cannons up here. But base-wise, he's like about here in base, as far as base-wise go. As far as like the base of the vehicle goes. And he's a little guy. He's a little guy. And here, for other comparisons, here he is next to the modelroid Gridman and the modelroid Samurai Caliber. Definitely looking nice. However, that ain't it for Max here. You see, he has a helmet and stuff, and he obviously looks like he turns into a pair of arms. So that's what we're going to turn him into. So, starting off, we'll take off this helmet piece. Set that aside for later, and let's split this apart. Here, we get the other stickers that have been revealed. Very nice. Do get a lot of details with those stickers. But without the but if you look at this without the stickers, it will look kind of plain. Oh yeah, and something I would like to mention. Those tiny red triangles, those are also stickers. So there's that. Very nice. So, before I attach these onto Gridman, let's get Gridman ready. So, to get Gridman ready for his combined mode, first let's take off his arms. Then rotate his biceps upward. And then what we're going to do is we're going to attach these three pieces. Going to attach this piece, and this piece. So how's this going to work is that each one of these pieces is going to attach to these bicep holes using these pegs, like so. Attach this to the other side. And then what you do is you take this part and you tap these holes into these shapes while tapping this peg into this hole. So lining it up and snapping it in. And then there you have that. Very nice. What you're going to be doing with the arms is you're going to open this door up, take this, and what's going to happen is that this peg is going to slide into, so that peg is going to slide into this hole, into this groove. Then it can be a little tricky. And have it so these elbow joints fit snugly between this little thing and that little thing. boom, like that. Have it so this part of the elbow fits between this little piece of plastic and that little piece of plastic. Easy? Cool. Shut that door and do the same with the other side. Open the door, fit this in. It would be easier to just straighten these joints out and just fit that in. Then close that door up. Swing these cannons up. Attach the, so connect this peg formed from these parts to these hexagon holes, like so. Do the same with the other side. And then grab this helmet piece and just slide it on Gridman, over Gridman's head. And then when all is said and done, here we have the combination known as Max Gridman. And pretty cool. He has ginormous arms. Very, very nice. Very cool looking. And honestly a little goofy looking, but that's fine. That's how it's meant to be. So, here's how it looks from the back. Very cool. We do get a little bit of added details on the back due to this little assembly we added on. It does look really cool. And when we separated these arms, we do get a lot more details. Do have these little asymmetrical tab locking system things going on here, like these sort of H-shaped pegs and holes. We do get a good look at the fists now that they're separated. Do look nice. They do look nice. He looks big and he looks buff. Articulation wise, for Gridman himself, the head does limit his range of movement, but not by much. It's like, thanks to these tabs in the back, he doesn't really tilt side. His head doesn't really tilt side to side that much, but he can still look up. He can still look down. He can still move his He can still move his head. He can still, and you still get a little bit of that waggle room left. Everything from this limited waist down is completely unhindered. Just like is all the articulation from the regular Gridman. It's the arms that are different. So for the arms, thanks to those pegs, you do get that unlimited range of movement. These can swivel around. His shoulders can hinge out a good amount. And sure, when you rotate these out far enough, you can see Gridman's arms peeking through, but that's no big deal. He can surprisingly stand on his 2 feet. I said you can surprisingly stand on your 2 feet. This isn't surprising. Come on. Come on. Oh well. Anyways, the cannons up here are completely unhindered now that the arms are separated. It does have a bicep rotation. He actually does have a double bend at the elbow. A regular bend at the elbow that can bend about that far, and then an additional elbow that bends even farther. Very nice. Very nice. These gray panel things up here can rotate up that far to give more room to the ball joints at the wrists. They can swivel, they can waggle a little bit. Very nice. Do get a good little bit of articulation with that. Now, as for features and accessories, you can pop off his hands, his fists, for other options for hands, such as splayed out open hands or these thumbs up hands. So you can just easily just pop these in. And do get that. Very nice. And the joints do feel nice and stiff. Again, very nice. And these hands are detailed. And these hands have a nice bit of detail. Very cool. And of course we can pop these hands in. And you can give him a good old thumbs up. So these thumbs up hands are actually his like sword wielding hands. So you take Samurai Caliber, you take his hilt off. It's just connected by this peg that connects into that hexagon shaped hole. And you basically just slide this hilt through the bottom of his fist. And then you connect the sword on top of that. And now you have big armed dude with a giant sword. Even though this hand wielding the sword would be like more relevant in other modes, but it's fine. Very nice. You can mess around with the sword like that. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Let's just pop the hands off, pop the fists back in, and the range of hands is very nice. Now, other things, like, yes, it is possible to stand him up on his own. I've tried. I've done it. Hey, look at that! But if you don't want to spend all day trying to balance him on his tiny little feet, this hole back here, that's connected into that hole in the back of Gridman, as well as the hole down here, are both compatible with the with your 3mm stand, such as your Figma stand. So yes, you can attach. Alright, we can do that. So we can attach the back of this onto a Figma stand. Come on. And now we can pose him however we want. You can we can put him up on some sort of kicking pose. You can pose him like that. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Now, as for size comparison, first let me get everything all nice and situated. Want you. Now, let's bring back in that stand. Let's pop that back in. And now we can stand him up for our size comparisons. Here we have him next to Cliff Jumper. And here we have him next to Siege Spinister. It really doesn't add that much. It really doesn't add much height to Gridman, as much as just bulks him out. And I guess it technically does make him taller because he has bigger shoulders now. But boom, he's still little. But I don't mind it. So overall thoughts, I do think it is really good. The arms are really nice and poseable, and you can get him into some nice poses, and he can hold them poses very nicely. The selection of hands, I do like. It's very simple, yet you can do so much with the hands you already have. I will say the wheels not being able to roll is slightly disappointing, but I can understand if they can't really do that sort of thing in a model kit, like having free spinning wheels. Another thing that would be nice to add is in the show, Max Gridman here would do like this with his hands when he does his very special attack. Do like this with his hands. I kind of wish they came with that hand display option. Alright. But aside from that, this is really nice. It does a couple little things that would have been nice for it to have, but without them, it's totally fine without them. And heck, there's still more about this model kit to review about. But for now, I guess this is going to be it. So if you like this video, consider to like and subscribe, and maybe even comment if you want. And of course, I will be posting again sooner or later.